Good morning, good morning, good morning, Covenant fam. Sorry, I was reading a notification they gave me. So this morning, good morning, good morning. It is Monday, December 19th. It is the start of my vacation. So I'm kind of happy about it, kind of not happy about it. Because to be honest, guys, even when I'm on vacation from Covenant, I still technically don't get vacation because I still have other things to do. You know, being a mom, working at Love's, and even that starting to interfere with things that I have to do. So I might not be holding on to that job much longer. Not too sure about what's going to happen right now. But good morning. The whole point of this live is I have a few announcements, one tangent to go on. Okay. So we are going to go live together as of January 6th. And hi, good morning. We're going to go live January 6th together. So it's going to be Eastern time. I did talk to him Friday, this past Friday, and he said that Fridays were good for him, which is good for me because that means that I could do it when I'm out on the East Coast and I don't have to worry about being at home or whatever. And so we've got that date set. Not sure the time because I have no idea when I'm gonna get on the truck. Normally we should have a set time that I get on the truck, but sometimes when they're late, like loading us or hooking the set or something like that, it delays her getting to me. So it just depends on when she actually gets to me for me to get on the truck for us to make it down to Georgia. Um, So depending on when that is, I know it will be Eastern time. So just think of it as being in the evening. So like late on the 6th. And we'll just go from there. We'll play it by ear. That's just all I have to offer right now, guys. As far as that, but we did coordinate, and he's totally up for it. One of my subscribers asked if we can do what's it called? If we could do a Zoom. Now, I haven't done a Zoom for like the participant ID. He wants to get like other drivers from like Covenant page involved, and I don't want them to know so much about my YouTube because I don't want my YouTube to turn into what the drivers for Covenant page has turned into. So that's not something that I'm willing to put out there right now. So I haven't decided yet, but once I figure it out, I have a whole week to figure it out. Once I do, then I'll give you guys all the required information so that way it can be like an open like discussion. So even if it's just him and I live, then you guys would be able to still type your questions and stuff like that. We will be able to see them. And then we'll just respond to them that way as I do for you guys when I go live by myself. Um, that was the biggest main announcement. The tangent that I was planning on going on is I seen a post in Drivers for Covenant, and I told you guys I'm active on that page. I haven't been recently, so I can't even say that I'm fully active on that page. I haven't been in a while, but um I lost my train of thought. My brain is mush right now. I am so tired. Jeez. I kind of forgot what I was talking about. Give me a second. Oh, Drivers for Covenant page. So I am still part of that page for both my sorry. I am so uncomfortable right now. Like, it's too early for me to be feeling uncomfortability. Anyway, I'm still part of that page. Both of my Facebook pages are part of that Covenant page. I just only use my Covenant page for that group. Uh, but I was on there and someone posted something that they came to Covenant and had high expectations or whatever, and then they got stranded, left out in the cold because partners no longer there, or couldn't get in contact with payroll because the money ain't right, and this and that. And somebody says something about HR. Let me say something right now. HR and payroll are two different departments. They are not the same. They're on the same floor, but they're two separate departments. So if you're trying to contact HR for payroll problems, that's going to be a problem in itself, because HR don't deal with payroll. So you have to get the right department for that, sweetheart. As far as you losing your partner and then you being left out, if you come in with a partner and one of you either gets disqualified, or they decide it's not for them, or they get fired, then what are they supposed to do with you? You came in as a duo, and if one of you can no longer fulfill that or be there, then you're going to end up having to figure out something too. They're not taking in solo people. So I don't understand, unless you can find someone to re-team with, like ASAP, there's really nothing they can do with you. So they're not going to run you solo, and they're not going to have you sitting, because you're not going to get paid anyway. So you might as well go somewhere where you're going to get paid. So, I mean, companies are a dime a dozen, just like drivers are a dime a dozen. So if you're not happy somewhere or something's not working out, there are plenty of others to choose from. So, I'm not trying to sound mean. I don't want this to come off as like me being like, oh, we don't need you, because that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, things in the industry have changed, and they are changing. So Covenant is going to change with those times. So if the structure of the company is changing, if you're already in the company or coming into the company, as long as you're following what needs to be done, what they're telling you you need to do, then you'll have a spot there, because you're actually rolling with what the company's doing. If you're causing waves because you're expecting it to be how it was before, or what people are telling you it should be, then obviously you're gonna stick out like a sore thumb. Like, the way that the economy and the way that this industry is moving, it's changing, the rules, the regulations, the policies, everything. So you have to change with it. The company is not going to jeopardize that for the sake of a few drivers. They're going to actually do what it's going to take for them to survive as a business and stay afloat as things are starting to change and be different. So you can't expect things to stay how they are, but then like the world around it is changing. So it's just not going to work. So I'm sorry that you came under certain expectations or a certain idea of what things used to be or what they were, and then it's just not working out for you, because you have to follow with what you're being told to do. And instead of you causing waves and making a big deal saying how this is unfair and that's not right and you guys are treating me like this, you're starting to put the blame. So that means that now they're going to go into defense mode. you're attacking them with your words of saying you're doing this, you're doing that, and that's not right, that's not fair. But any company will do things across the board. So you're not the only one that has to follow these new rules, guidelines, or whatever direction the company is trying to go. So again, I just don't understand how you can act a certain way and then expect things to go your way. Like, it's like a child throwing a tantrum and then you expect the parents to give in. Like, it's not gonna work that way. And I don't know the whole story, I don't know the full story or whatever. If you're one of my subscribers, you're watching, please explain it to me so that way I'm able to give you accurate information. It's saying the temperature of my phone is too high. I gotta turn it down. My heater's up too high. So if I'm getting it wrong, tell me so that way I would be able to give you more accurate information pertaining to your situation. But based off of the post, it's very vague. It's very like, this is a problem, that's a problem, that's a problem. It's all over the place. It's jumping. So I don't know if any of these things are connected or related or happened all in the same day or whatever. So I'm just going based off of what the post said. And like I said, HR and payroll, two different things. So if you're having payroll problems, you need to contact payroll, not HR. You're having HR problems, which is your benefits or 401k, your employment status or verification, all that stuff. All that is HR. So HR is something different than payroll. And so on and so forth. So I wish you luck. And being on Drivers for Covenant page is not going to help you by, posting something, because there's a lot of trolls on there that are just waiting for the opportunity to be like, Covenant sucks, Covenant did this to me, Covenant did that, this is why I left, blah, blah, blah. You're not going to get any real answers. You're just going to get other stories from other drivers that's going to help sway your decision to say that Covenant's a bad company. So I feel that you should go to someone within the company, like not a driver, but someone that actually works in the terminal in-house, so they would be able to better direct you, because you don't want drivers to steer you in the wrong direction and then you're just, SOL. There was that. And there was another reason that I can't even think of. I told you my brain is mush. I think I am gonna do probably gospel video today, right now, because I don't know if I can. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, I don't know that I can. Never mind. I'll probably do it a little later, maybe, before I get home. I'm so tired. I have to do errands. Today is an absolute full day of deadlines for my errands I have to run. So my days just never stop. I want a break. I'm trying to think of what else. I swear I had this whole idea to go live because I had all this stuff to talk about, and now my brain is just like, nope, that's not what we're gonna do. Yeah, so I guess that's it. I guess I talked about going live with her, and our 23 is really, really nice. We like the way it rides. It's got more shocks on this truck. It's brand new, so of course it better have good shocks on it, you know. So when we're sleeping, like, it doesn't jolt us as much in this truck. And I mean, it just picks up and goes when you're ready to go. We love it. Bunk heater works. You know, just all this stuff. It's good. Lights are beautiful. Everything. And it's all black inside. It's black on black. So, like, the seats are black. The, what's it called? The little thing that says, like, Cascadia, like in the old freights, they're gray. Well, in the new one, it's black. So it's like the dash is black, everything is black, black on black. And then, like, our bars inside are black, like the bars that you hold on to get in the truck, they're black. But I did see another 23 and his bars were yellow. So I guess it just depends. But his dash was also black on black. So the only thing that stood out was his yellow bars. So I like the fact that ours are black. Because that yellow is just a bit too bright. It sticks out. To me, that would be so tacky. It would distract me. But other than that, it's good. We love it. We love the truck. I'm gonna get it together and organized, and then I'm gonna go back to decorating the truck for holidays. So the next holiday that I'm gonna decorate for is probably Valentine's Day. So I'm gonna do that. So if you guys see Covenant truck pulling Estes, or even Covenant, sometimes we still pull Covenant too, but if you see a Covenant truck and it's got like full-on decked out decorations for whatever holiday is in that month, it's me. It is I that has gone all out and decorated her truck like she's crazy and all that stuff. I'm trying to think of what else. I was at the terminal, hung out with some friends. There were a lot of people at the terminal this past weekend. So I did see a few of them, and it was cool hanging out with them. I went to dinner with one, I went to breakfast with the other, and saw a few subscribers that were there, the students getting on their trainers' trucks. They identified me by my tattoo. They were like, oh, it's you. So yeah, so that was cool. It was nice getting to know them and seeing them. So it was good. I'm trying to think of what else. I was going to give you guys gospel video today because yesterday was Sunday, but I don't have my display thing up and it's going to kick me out of the live. So I'll probably have to do that later, probably like after I finish this one, because there was something else that I needed to say and it just escaped my brain. I had like 3 announcements and I was like, oh yeah, that'll be good. And then I start talking and then it just goes out the window. Oh, that's what it was. I've got so many things to do today. That's what I was saying. The errands that I have today at my home errands is going to take up my day. So tomorrow I'm going to email Miss Stevens, and she's the one that overlooks the Covenant store. So I know that I said that I was going to do the giveaways, guys, and I'm still going to do that. I just had to figure out how they were going to do it, because I have to get like bulk stuff and in different sizes and different styles, different colors and things like that. So I don't know how she would mix and match in order for me to have that, so that way when you guys like answer questions that are in some of my videos or whatever, because I'm gonna be giving trivia questions and stuff, and then I need to be able to get your guys' size and where to send the stuff. So I need to make sure that I have those sizes and things available. So I'm going to talk to her and see how we're going to coordinate this so that way we can get it sent out, or maybe they can send it straight from the terminal to you guys if you guys don't feel comfortable giving me your address or whatever, a PO box. But I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm gonna start the process for that. I just have to, I'm so itchy. I have to email her tomorrow because I'm not gonna have time to do it today, guys. I gotta take my son to San Pedro. I gotta go pick up my mother-in-law. I gotta go to the DMV and the courthouse. I'm like, so once I get that stuff done today, then I'll be free tomorrow. I'll be able to send her the email. We could talk about it, and then we can start doing giveaways. Oh my God. I'm sorry, guys. I don't want to be like all on the camera, scratch, but I am so itchy in this spot for some reason. That's why they say be careful where you get tattoos, because I don't know if like equipment was clean or what, but periodically I like itch on certain spots. So maybe she went too deep. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, so that's coming. I promised, and I keep my promises. It might take me a minute, but I keep my promises. And I'm trying to think of what else. I really think that's it, guys. It was the store stuff. The stuff with Herb going live is going to take place on Friday. Not this Friday, but January 6th. And then the stuff about the Covenant page, that I see stuff all the time and I just don't reply because I don't have the energy in me to be fighting with people on that page anymore. I just don't. I don't at all. And for those that still want to come to Covenant and don't have a partner, there are people on that page that don't have partners, don't work for Covenant, but they want to come to Covenant, but they're still not sure, on the fence. That page is not private. So anybody could be a part of that page. Excuse me again. Oh, this kid has me so burpy. Anybody could be a part of that page. So you might luck out and find somebody in your area that is going to school or wants to go to school or blah, 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 that works for another company that's considering, but they don't have a partner either, and so they can't come in. That's what's stopping them. So you can always talk to people on that page, find out who needs a partner and all this other stuff, but make sure that you say that you don't work for Covenant, because there are some drivers that do work for Covenant looking for a partner, and you don't want them to get excited, or even you get excited thinking that you're going to team with someone, and then they have to wait a whole process for you to become an employee. But you can't even do that if you don't have a partner coming in the first place. So just be clear about what you're looking for, and that way there's no misunderstandings. But that's the only way I can see you still being able to come into Covenant as a true team. If neither one of you work for Covenant, but you want to work for Covenant, then you can always speak with each other and then just link up and then both apply and come in as a true team like that. So that's a little trick that you may be able to do, because I don't see any rules against it. All they're saying is you have to be a true team. They didn't say how you found your teammate. They don't say you have to be related to them or you have to personally know them. You just have to be a true team. So I think that would benefit a few drivers if that's what you guys want to do. Another thing, if you guys do it that way, I would rather both of you be in contact with me, so that way I can assist you through the process, because a lot of these drivers that complain on the Drivers for Covenant page, I have not assisted in helping them, so I don't know who these people are, whatever. So if you're one of my subscribers and you find someone that also wants to come to Covenant and they don't know about my channel or anything like that, they don't have to subscribe, but just let them know to get in contact with me, even through Facebook on my Covenant page, and I'll be able to assist both of you, so that way, because Covenant knows that I recruit through my YouTube. So at least I would be able to tell them, hey, these are the drivers' names. They're coming in as a true team, blah, blah, blah. Look out for them. So that way when your names come up, they'd be like, oh, these are the drivers Kay was talking about. Okay, so you guys would have, I don't want to say a better chance, because I don't know what your situation is. So I don't know if you got tickets or bad experience from another company. I don't know. So I can't promise that it's going to give you a leg up. But me assisting you with any problems that you come across, if Covenant says, oh, well, we can't do this, I would expect you guys to contact me so that way I can find out why, or find out the details, so that way I would be able to explain it to you guys. Maybe it's something that's an easy fix, because the communication with some of them, I'm not gonna lie, is a bit rough. So I love my company, but some of them don't know how to communicate very well. So let's just make sure that to avoid all that, you guys contact me first. If there is a problem that arises, I don't want you guys to get angry or hostile or upset and be like, this is BS. All you have to say is, okay, you contact me, you explain to me the situation, I will contact someone and I will see if I can sort it out, okay? But again, I can't work miracles. I don't make promises that I can't keep. So if I tell you I'll see what I can do, that means it's a possibility. It doesn't mean it's a definite, or you guys are like, A-okay, you're in there. I don't know, because at the end of it, they're the ones that make the final decision. Again, I'm just a driver, guys, but I do kind of have a way of working with them. And as long as you guys are honest with me, I will fight for you. I will vouch for you, but do not lie to me. I don't like that, and I don't want to have issues with the company and then it just destroy everything that's going on and what I've got going. So just as long as you're straightforward with me and I have that communication, that rapport with you, then I will vouch for you till the end, until there's no more fight left. Okay? So maybe we can work something out that way, but don't give up just straight away because you don't personally know someone. It's difficult to team with someone that is a stranger. Okay, I can turn that off now. It's starting to get daylight, so now I can see. So it is difficult to team with someone that is a stranger. And this is exactly why I do my teaming video, so that way you guys can both understand and hear, how to mutually respect each other's stuff. Not everybody's going to be that way. So it is trial and error. So it's not for the weak. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's not for if you think you're going to meet a partner and that's going to be your only partner for your whole career within Covenant, then you're seriously delusional, because it doesn't work like that. You're going to at least have 2-3 partners before you actually find a good one. Some of them luck out. It's just luck of the draw that they get it first out the gate. But you guys already know my story, 5 co-drivers. There are some people that have had 8 co-drivers. There are some people that have had 12 co-drivers. It just depends on the type of person you are and how well you mesh with someone that is a bit different. So it all comes down to the things that I put in that teaming 101 or co-driving 101. The respect, the communication, the consideration, all those things play a factor in being able to be a successful or even an ideal co-driver. And just talking about everything, getting everything out in the open. But those of you that really want to come to Covenant and you guys don't see any other option, I would suggest that you start looking for other people that don't work at Covenant just yet, and then you guys team up and apply together, come in as a true team. As long as you guys meet the guidelines for teaming together. So true teams, they expect you guys to have everything worked out already. So if you guys are coming in together, that means you guys have to know where the other person lives, how far, so that way it's not like super crazy. You don't want one to live in Washington and the other one lives in Florida, and they'll be like, how are you going to get home? So that's another video that I've done. If you guys have not seen that, go back and watch that video for home on the range, because there's certain parameters you have to meet in order to team with someone. So the easier you can make it for Covenant, the smoother your process will be. I promise. If you go in and you say, I'm coming in as a true team, this is going to be my partner. I live in Atlanta and he lives in Dalton, which I'm just throwing those out there, but they're both in Georgia. So I don't know how far, but 250 miles. If you guys already have all that worked out and say, you know, boom, 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 then they'll be like, oh, all right, cool. You go to orientation, you get your stuff, you get your driver ID, and you get a truck assigned. You guys are on the road. On the road. Experienced drivers, they do not put you on a truck with a trainer. So the easier you guys can do it, the better it's going to be for you. Just be careful, because you have to make sure that that person is going to be truthful about anything in their background. If Covenant finds a reason to disqualify one of you, you're both screwed. So just make sure that you guys talk about that and be like, look, I'm not trying to be all up in your mix, but if we're going to be teamed together, what you go through or what's happening to you is going to affect me, and vice versa. So you guys need to make sure like that they don't have no major criminal history, that they don't have any weapons charges or a drug problem, you know, because you can't smoke weed, you can't, you know, be an alcoholic, you know, you can't do those things. So just ask them, is there anything that's going to stop Covenant from hiring you? Like, you don't have to tell me all the details, just let me know, is there anything that you know personally about yourself that Covenant might say no? And if they're like, pause for a second, like, ooh, then be like, look, work that out and then let me know. Because if you guys just try to take a chance, it's no go. And if it's a real bad thing, Covenant will put you on the do not hire list and the non-rehirable list. So you don't want to wait until the work, see you later. And they will do that. So it's, again, it's not for the weak. If you guys really want to do this, you have to find somebody that's going to be on the same level as you, to run as long as you, to have the same work ethic as you, and this about their money, you know, that wants to be out here to do the job and not be out here to run around and sightsee and do all this and go the opposite direction. We've had that happen several times, that drivers will get in the truck and the Qualcomm will tell them to go north, they're going south. I don't know what highway they were headed to, but they're going south, and they will call you because they track the trucks, and they'll tell you, hey, turn around, you're going the wrong way. Where are you going? What are you doing? So it'll be a problem. So you have to make sure that you find somebody that's going to be on the same page as you, same level, so you guys can get out here and make this money. Covenant's not a bad company. There have been some issues recently that have left drivers confused and not knowing what to do, yada yada. But this all comes back to communication. So again, with everything changing and being different, Covenant is also playing catch up on trying to restructure themselves so that they can keep their business running with all these new rules, regulations, and all this other stuff. So while they're trying to figure that out, they got drivers over here in their ear, you know, can I do this? Can I do that? Whining, complaining, well, why is this? And that's not fair. And it's a lot. So just be patient. And once they figure stuff out, they'll let you know. Follow what they say. You won't have any problems. It's when you bump heads with them is when it becomes a problem. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I don't know if any of y'all was typing because I didn't have my chat on, I don't think. Yeah, nobody was typing nothing. So I see 3 of y'all is watching, and nobody has no questions. So if you do, now's the time. Now's the time to ask me while we're here. But that was just pretty much what I wanted to talk about, is possibly finding that loophole to team, even though you don't know anybody personally. You can always go on those Covenant forum pages and stuff like that, Drivers for Covenant, and just forewarning you now, they will be on there talking mess the whole time. So just be prepared for it. You post something, then everybody's going to jump on your post and comment about don't do it, don't waste your time, run the other direction. I done seen all the comments and posts that they could ever do. If you're the type that lets other people dictate, oh, you're welcome. Yeah, I really didn't want to, but my phone is still tripping, saying that I don't have space still. So, but I always like hearing from you, Daniel. I look forward to your comments every time I go live. So I'm always wondering if you're on watching. But yeah, you can go back and watch later. It'll be ready. Usually it does 16, 19 hours later. It'll finish processing, and then I'm able to change it from private to public. That's what I have to do every time I go live, which I don't like doing that, but it is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it until I can fix this stupid space thing on my phone. So, but yeah, I always like seeing your comments and stuff, but you can watch anytime once it loads. Anybody else? I got, 2 viewers now. I think either I lost service or they did, and I lost the third. Oh, excuse me. Questions? Anything about the company, benefits, teaming, pet policy? Trying to think of what else. Rider policy. I don't know. You guys tell me what you need to know. I'm here for it. I'll give it a few moments. I had 2 riders on the truck with me, but not at the same time, but I've had 2 overall with my time at Covenant. I had my husband twice, and then my daughter, one of my daughters, one time, and that was it. I stopped doing rider policy because it became a bit of a hassle, and it goes through like a lot of approvals when you're a team, because technically teams aren't allowed to have a rider. So after I went through the issues with my daughter being a rider, I just stopped putting in for me to have a rider on the truck. I guess they feel it's a liability or something with 3 people being on the truck. I don't see how, because trainers train 2 students on the truck. That's 3 people. But then again, they're actual employees versus like someone that's just in the truck. So I understand it's like a higher liability. So I get that, but at the same time, I don't see how the risk is higher, whether they're employed or not, because it's still 3 bodies on the truck. So it's the same like space you're working with, same, maneuvers. I did. Daniel says, I have a rider now. I have a bun in the oven. I do. But that one rides for free. When you have a rider, you have an $8 insurance policy to pay. But that was good. That was a good one. So I had that, and there was like issues, and so they were like emailing, and then we got stalled, and so I couldn't like finish my run. I had to stop. They wouldn't let me continue rolling, but we were already too far for me to turn around, because then we'd waste like half a day for us to drop our load. So they just went ahead and pushed it through. But I was supposed to wait until the committee came back with an answer, but I wasn't aware of that. I submitted my paperwork and it was time for me to get back on the truck. And I'd rather get on the truck than me not be there and then me get busted. So so we did that. They said that I could only have her for the week, and then we came back, and then, I brought her home, and that was it. But it's fun having a rider to be like with your family or your friend or whatever. So those of you that are solo, that are with Landair, now Landair might have a different rider policy. So let me make that clear, because I've never worked for Landair, and I don't know much about their policies. I don't know if it's the same as Covenant's policy, but I do know that overall solos are able to have a rider. So it still has to go through those channels, though. It still has to go through safety, and you still have to have like the waiver that, like, it's like forms that you have to print out and then you sign and then send them back to Covenant, and or turn them in. Like when I did it, Pomona was Pomona was still there, so I was able to just drive into the terminal and just turn all my stuff in. But I don't know now if they like have you email it or fax it or whatever, but you have like all this paperwork to fill out and this stuff, and then it goes up to committee and safety and all this stuff, and they have like a meeting about it, and they look at your record and all this stuff, and see if you're on probation and all that, and then they give you an answer of a yay or nay, and then your rider can get on the truck, and you have to tell them from what time to what time they'll be on the truck for how long, and then that way they can kind of keep track of anything that goes on, and as long as they're aware that you have somebody, because boy, will you be in big trouble if you have a rider and Covenant has no idea. That is like the ultimate like no, because it's so many like liability issues and insurance things and accidents and incidents, and it's just too much. So you don't want to get busted with people on the truck that should not be on the truck. Give me 1 second. And then pet policy. I've never had a pet on the truck. Didn't really want to try. Not saying that people that do or whatever. I just to me it's a hassle to have a pet, because not only do you have to stop a bit more frequently, the truck gets dirty, there's hair everywhere, and then like food and all this stuff, it's too much to have a pet. And if they get sick, and when you're driving, to me, I see that as dangerous, like having a pet on the truck. Because if it's a dog, and let's say that you're driving and they decide that they want to be under your feet or whatever, like that's dangerous for an animal to be by the pedals, Then again, depends on if your animal's trained or not. I don't know. But it was just too much to try to figure out, to work through, to do all this stuff. So I just decided that it wasn't for me to have a pet on the truck. So it's not something that I would do, or my co-driver, because it's just easier for, yes, it has to be a domestic pet. So like a cat, a dog, I've never seen anybody with any birds on the truck, but I do know that, not within Covenant, but I do know that there are other drivers, like owner operators and stuff like that, that have rabbits. And I wanted a bunny too, and I actually got a bunny, but it didn't live that long, which is really sad. I don't know what happened. I think it was too soon for it to leave its mommy, and I didn't have it on the truck. I just barely brought it home, and it was black and white, and I named it Moo, like what cows say. So or I should say what the noise they make, whatever. So I named it Moo, And it was so cute, and it was black and white, and it was so tiny and little. And then I just woke up the next morning, and it was like breathing all heavy, and his nose was like super pale and white. And then it just took its last breaths, and then it died. And I cried. I busted in my mom's room, and I'm like, oh my God, it's dead. And she's like, what? And I'm like, it died. So I don't know. And I had all the right stuff. So don't think I'm an animal killer out here, because I'm not. But yeah, so I know that some people, some drivers, because I've Googled it and stuff to see like what type of animals like people do carry on their trucks. And bunnies, cats, dogs, and was it a guinea pig? Not a guinea pig. I don't know. Pretty much anything. A duck-billed platypus? I've never, like, a regular platypus? Or like duck-billed a specific one? I don't know. I'm gonna have to look that up. That's kind of crazy. But for Covenant, to go back to your original question, Covenant, as far as I know, is cats and dogs. I mean, that's typical. They're trainable, and it's just, those are the most domesticated animals we have. I highly doubt they will allow you to have snakes or anything like that. So, no. I do believe there's a limit on dogs and cats. I think you're allowed two max for each one. And there is a weight limit. I think 50 pounds is the max. I want to say like 50 or 70 pounds, something like that, is the max for your dog. And then your cat, I don't know, there's hardly any like super fat cats out there unless people are like overly feeding them. But yeah, I've seen drivers and they have their cat beds like up there, and the cat's just laying lounged out on the dash, like soaking up all the sun and just taking in all the rays. Man, but no, I've never had it. And before, they didn't used to charge a monthly fee for the pet policy, but back in 2019, 2020, they changed the policy for the pet policy, and they charged $10 a week out of your paychecks for having a pet, and the deposit is still $500 per pet. So if you got 2 dogs, that's $1,000 for the deposit, which is non-refundable. And it's non-refundable because animals do what? Tear up furniture. So that goes towards the repairs and the cleaning that they would have to do for the detailing, because some drivers let their pets go to the bathroom and pee all over the seats and poop on the floor and under the seats, because now the seats lift up because they're air ride, and so the pets go under there and they might poop or pee or whatever, and you might be able to clean it up, but you're not going to get in every nook and cranny and crevice, so the detailing team has to go in there and clean it. So it's $500 per pet, non-refundable, a week for duration of however long you're. Oh, okay. I don't like the desert. It always tells me it's reconnecting. I always lose service or whatever. I'm almost to Baker now, Baker, California. But anyway, so if you take your pet off, you let Covenant know, and they'll stop the $10 charge a week, for you having your pet. So as long as you don't have your pet, they won't charge you. But again, that deposit is non-refundable. So whether you have your pet on the truck or not on the truck, you're still not going to get that $500 back. So if you really want a pet that bad, or if you have conditions, anxiety, or if it's a emotional support animal or something like that, that's different. They do require proof of that. And I don't believe they charge you the deposit. Is there still a, oh, there it goes. Okay. I'm not 1,000% sure. I just know that we do have a pet policy. Again, I've never had a pet on the truck. I did ride with a co-driver, the COVID liar. She had her dog on the truck for a long time, and she had to pay the $500, and then that's when we found out that they changed it to $10 a week. And then after that, I wasn't teamed with her, so I don't know what happened after that. But she didn't have it for emotional support, to my knowledge, so she paid the $500. But I want to say that it's either half, or you guys don't have to pay if it's emotional support or service animal, but you have to show proof. So you have to have like the certificate and all that stuff, and then submit it to Coven. They have to have a copy of it and everything to go in the file and all that stuff. But IRC is the one that handles pet policy and rider policy. So if you guys want to know more about it, you can call IRC department, talk to them. They will give you the whole spiel rundown, or they'll just send you an email, because that department gets super busy. It is. The Mad Greek restaurant still is there. I have never been inside. I've never been inside of there, but they still have like the billboard signs out and stuff. So I would assume that it's still open, unless they got hit by COVID and didn't come back. But maybe I should drive through there. I'm going to check for you, just for you asking, because I want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. But anything else? Anybody got anything else they want to ask? Nobody can see what you type or write. Only I can see it, and then I'll just reply if you don't want me to say your question out loud. But even if I do say your question out loud, I won't say your name, if that makes sense. So only if you would like to ask questions. Let's see. I'm exiting now, Daniel. Let me see. I've never eaten there. I think I've been. You don't have to get loud, Danny. No, I'm okay. I really don't want to turn on my monetization, and I appreciate you. Mad Greek Cafe. Let me see. That's a shop. Mad Greek Cafe. Home of the Onassis Burger? Onassis Burger? Onassis? I don't know. Let me see. Where is it? I don't even see it. There's the shell. Oh, and it's not a big deal me doing this, because it's a straight shot. Like, it's one line that goes through here. Meet me at Estes Day. It depends on where you're coming out of. Where are you located out of? Are you out of Florida? I think you're the one that was located out of Florida. Let me see. There it is. Yeah, it says now open, Daniel. So it's still here. They made it through. They even have truck parking. Here, I'll show you. Hold on. Let's see. Hold on. There it is. They're still open. I mean, it's probably not open right now because it's super early, but they have like all this truck parking and space and all this stuff. But yeah, let me go around the back. Let's see. And they got a drive-through too. I'm gonna have to try them out. I don't really eat like Greek food. I think I went to one Greek restaurant with Lily, and see the now open sign right under the, yeah. So I went with Lily to this restaurant, and we went somewhere to I can't remember where we were. We were um were we in Atlanta? We weren't in Atlanta. We were in it. We were in a certain part of Atlanta. We went to the World Market, the World Market, and to where like they had like all this produce and seafood and everything from like Argentina and Mexico and all this stuff in different places in what is it, Guadalajara or Guatemala, or I don't know. So basically it's like this huge market that you go into, and they had like stuff from everywhere, different countries, different just places. And we went there, and then after we did like some shopping there, whatever, didn't really get much. Well, she did. I didn't really. There's certain things that I'm not, I don't want to say not up for doing, but I'm not very cultured like that. So I don't really know what to do with that kind of stuff. You know, I grew up cooking the basic stuff. Burgers, hot dogs, French fries, pizza, stuff like that. Like all the stuff that, you know, American kids grow up doing, you know. But that place had like so much stuff with vegetables I never even seen or heard of that I wouldn't even know what to do with. So I just kind of felt a little out of place. And I'm not saying that I'm not up for like looking for like new things to do or like experience new things. I'm all for that. But it's just hard when you don't know where to begin. So, you know, I have been watching like food videos and stuff, and don't get me wrong, I could cook, okay? I don't need to watch videos to cook, but it's good to learn different stuff. So anyway, we went there, we went shopping and did some stuff, and like I said, she more than I. And then after that, we decided to go to this Greek restaurant. She had taste for Greek food, and so we went, and I had this what was it, the Athena burrito, something like that, and it had like eggs and all kinds of stuff in there. I wanted breakfast, and I got it, but it came on like pita bread. It wasn't like an actual burrito, so it was kind of strange to me, but it was delicious, and it's something that I would order again, you know. But I'm trying to remember the name of the restaurant. It was something weird, started with a K, I think. I don't know. But anyway, so that was the first time me having Greek food. So I really don't know what to order from there. I don't know what certain type of meats are. And, you know, I'm not used to eating things that I don't know what it is or I can't pronounce or anything like that. And I'm not trying to sound racist or nothing, but I want to say that that's probably the black half of me. Then it's like, if we don't know what it is, we don't want to touch it. Kind of like how we are with potato salad. We need to know who made the potato salad, otherwise we're not touching it. So it's hard for me to eat like Vietnamese food or like Greek food, or like, you know, I have to know what it is. And even Mexican food. I'm half Mexican, half black, half Mexican, right? There's certain food I won't eat from even my people because I just want, like, I don't eat pig's feet. I don't eat chitterlings. I don't eat, like, who wants to eat pig intestines? Like, who thought that was scrumptious? Because I sure don't. That's not something I would eat. I don't eat seafood. So it's a lot of stuff that, I don't know. You want to buy me lunch? Fine. Wait till we meet. We'll go somewhere that we both agree on. But I can't try other things. So anyway, yes, the Mad Greek restaurant is still there. Glad you got to see it. And I'm surprised it's still open, to be honest with you. But yeah. Any other questions, guys? I'm up for anything. I still have like another hour to drive. Oh my God, it's 7 in the morning. I gotta go. I'm not gonna get off live. I just have to go faster. I have to go to the DMV. You're welcome, of course. That Estes dedicated. You need to tell me where you're out of, because Estes has dedicated, but it's all, I think they only have like 4 lanes that are dedicated. So it just depends on where you are. If you're in a bad spot, then it's most likely not going to happen. But Estes OTR is just as good. Your miles just aren't going to be consistent. So, I mean, trust me when I say dedicated is boring. So if you don't like doing the same thing over and over again, or are you just looking for better home time, is what your plan is. So maybe I should ask that question first. Are you looking for better home time, or you want steady miles and a routine that that is what you're looking for? Because that'll change a lot of things that I could say about it. So just let me know what your plans are, or why you're looking for a dedicated so bad. But there, my God, reconnecting again. I don't know if you, sorry. I didn't know it was going to come back that quick. Anyway, if you're doubles and triples endorse, hazmat and tankers, if you have all that, why are you still stuck to the Estes account? Why can't you see if there's any openings on FedEx or Old Dominion or R&L? Because those are wildcats too, to my knowledge. As long as we're still running those lanes, I would ask your fleet manager and say, hey, like, is Estes all there is, or is there a slot for FedEx and all them others, just wildcats in general? Because that might open up some doors for you too on the other side. Because to be honest, I don't even see any of the Old Dominions or the R&Ls, but I know that we are contracted with them. I've seen some of the FedEx. I've seen some of our trucks pulling FedEx. So I know that we're doing that, but it's rare that I see them. So it's either still in the trial phase, or we don't have a lot of those accounts. So that's why they keep putting everybody on Estes, which there's a wait list for Estes right now too, because Estes is just so in demand right now for drivers that, it created a standby list. So, I don't know. It just depends. You gotta tell me why you want to dedicate it, in order for me to determine what would be the best option for you. Because honestly, if you just want better home time, you can be out for 2 weeks, 3 weeks on Estes running wild, and then put in your home time every 2 or 3 weeks, however long, because each week you're out, you gain a day off. So even if you were on dedicated and you're out a week, you still only are home for your reset, which is still like a day and a half. It just depends on how the lane is structured. So my lane, I get this many days is because the way that we pick up on Saturdays at 15, it only takes us a short amount of time to get back. So I get dropped off and then I can go home. Excuse me. So I'm on my way home now. She's still continuing the load. So she's still working. So I'm now on my free time. Not all lanes are going to work like that. So these are engineered lanes. So if you want home time, you can get home time on any account that you run on, because your home time is determined based on you. Our home time for dedicated is, I keep having to pop my ears. Home time is dependent on how the customer has set the lane. So my days are set every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, which technically I don't even have Wednesday off because we come back on the truck on Wednesday. So I really only have half of Monday because it's already Monday and I'm still technically driving home. So I have half of Monday and then I have all of Tuesday. The only reason why I get half of Wednesday is because she has to come down to me. Again, that's just how the lane was engineered to work this way. But the customer set the days for pickup, drop off, and the reset days. So if you do OTR and you're on Estes and you're running wild, you can still have your time off that you want and be home as often as you want. Covenant requires two weeks minimum. So you have to stay out for at least 2 weeks. That gains you 2 days off. That's practically a reset. And then you come back out. So if you want consistent miles, then that's different. But running Estes, it's nonstop. So that shouldn't even be a problem either. But I haven't ran Estes in a long time as far as wild, because I used to run wild before I went dedicated. So when I was running wild, sorry, popping my ears again. When I was running wild, we had at least like 3 long good runs that we would go like super far, and then we had like 2 runs that were like short, and that covered us for the week. And then even sometimes some of them rolled over to the following week, which made those miles even greater. So you have a better chance, running OTR, gaining more miles than you do dedicated, because dedicated, you run flat no matter what. So it's like you're gonna stay at that amount of miles. Your pay is the same, so you know what to expect every week unless you're off, but your pay stays the same. If you're OTR, it's gonna fluctuate, and OTR has more perks than dedicated. So dedicated, you get 3 weeks off per year, so you get 3 weeks vacation, but in those 3 weeks you don't get paid. So if you were running OTR and you wanted, let's say you're out 6 weeks and you want to go home a week, you're not going to get paid that week, but at least you can stack up as many miles as possible so that way you can cover that week that you're not going to be paid. So even though we get more time at home, our pay is like literally structured to not fluctuate. We don't go up, we don't go down, we don't go left or right. Like you get what you get. So it sounds good because we're home and consistent miles. And I'm not saying that dedicated's not a good lane to be on or a good account to be on. What I'm saying is you have to think of everything to see if it fits your lifestyle. And if it doesn't, then why mess with it? If you're not getting as many long runs, just tell Central when you call in and say, hey, look, I done had 3 short runs this last week. Do you have anything that goes a little further? And they will look for something. They don't really throw a fit about it, but if you're rude about it, they will, and they'll probably just stick you with whatever. But if you just let them know, like, the last couple times we had 400 and 600 and 350 miles, do you have anything maybe longer that's maybe like 1,200 miles or something like that? They'll find you something. They're pretty good about it. But wintertime, I wouldn't do it. I would run, east to west, but I wouldn't go up because one, the weather is something else. And not only is the freight probably going to be low in those areas, but you're also going to be shut down because Covenant doesn't run on snow or sleet or ice or anything like that. So if you go up that way and you think that you're going to get a good run and then a storm hits, you're grounded. So that whole like 2 or 3 days, that you're sitting at a truck stop or a rest area holding on to a load that you wanted because it had more miles. Other people are taking short runs, making multiple drops, and all that is stacking up on one check, because the sooner you drop it, the sooner you can pick up something else. So it all depends on how you and your co-driver run together. So if one of you is running a bit harder than the other, then that might affect your miles too. So again, I would need to know your reasoning for wanting to have a dedicated, so that way we can decide if it's going to be a good fit for you guys as a team. So, I mean, like I said, I don't complain. I put them through a lot. My first, 3 years, well, 2.5 years, I put them through a lot, and I was gone, and my son was just born, and I went to truck driving school in a whole nother state, and I was gone, only coming home on the weekends, and it wasn't every other weekend, it was like every third weekend that I had the extra money to put gas in my truck for me to get home. And then I would have to drive back, across state lines, go to school, and do all that stuff. And then I got to come home after I graduated, and I had enough time for that one weekend that my husband and I went up to Napa. We got married in Napa County. We went up to Napa. We got married on the 8th of August, 2018. And then the kids started school on the 9th of that same month, like literally the next day. So I had to drive back home, which was in Barstow, and then had to pick them up from their grandparents' house and then get them ready for school the next day. Then I had to leave and go down to Pomona and check in the hotel so that way I could start orientation for me to be an employee with Covenant. Like, that's how it all started. It went boom, 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 and I never get a break from anything, but it's just the way that my life is or whatever. I don't know if the Lord is, trying to toughen me up for something. I don't know what it is, but yeah, so it just depends. And so I put them through a lot, and even after that, so my husband and I didn't get no honeymoon. My baby was still barely like a year old, and I even missed one of his birthdays because his birthday is 3 days after Christmas. So I missed one of his birthdays because one of the years I stayed out on the road for Christmas, and so I didn't make it back for his birthday, so I missed that. They had to record it. So I put them through a lot. I missed a lot of things at home. So that's why I stick to something that I am already tired of, because it benefits them and me. It benefits me too, because I'm at home and I get to see them, and they get to spend time with me more than they would if I stayed out 6 weeks on the road. And they put up with that for 2.5 years, and I felt that I owed it to them to give them more of my time. So again, if it works for you and you want to be home for whatever reason, I understand that. I completely get it, and I would have no problem trying to figure something out for you to find a dedicated, even if it wasn't Estes or whatever. Dedicated is dedicated, but if you're adamant for it being Estes, that might be a problem, because they're not always going to have open dedicated slots. It's hard because there's hardly any turnover for those kind of lanes. Just the fact that it is convenient for pay being consistent and for home time. So, but again, home time can be set. If I wanted to be out 2 weeks and then I gain my 2 days off, I put in for those 2 days, then they'll make sure that I get home and I'm home for 2 days. And then I go out for another 2 weeks, and then I'm home for 2 days. So it just depends on how you want to run it. You don't have to be out there for months on end. Drivers just do that because that's how they stack their money. The longer you're out, the more money you make, because you're not taking that loss of being home. So that's it, mainly. I was up to 5 viewers, and then I don't know where they disappeared to. Maybe my phone is tripping again because it says I have 1 viewer. So hello. Come on. Now the sun is beating in my face. Sun is beating in my face. So anything else anybody has for me? Questions, comments, concerns? Drop them now. Tell me about yourself. What got you into trucking? I just love to drive. And now that I drive, I'm kind of getting sick of driving. I get in the car and I'm just like, I don't want to do it. Daniel asked if I think I would ever go local. Maybe. I'm not afraid of physical demanding work. I'm not. But I don't know if the trade-off is worth it to go from typical drop and hook, pick up your load, you hook to it, you drive it where it needs to go, you drop it, unhook, bounce out to the next place. So, I mean, who doesn't want to do something that's simple and get paid for it and get paid well? And then turn around and go to something that is really physically demanding and possibly take a pay cut. So I might do it if my lifestyle changes and calls for it. And it also depends on the company. So I know that we have a Cisco warehouse that's not far from my house. And we have a US Foods that's not far from my house. I don't mind doing reefer loads and refrigerated loads or anything like that, or working with food. But I think maybe I really have, because I'm fully endorsed and I have thought about it. I really wanted to haul for Gemini, which is Loves. I wasn't thinking anytime soon. Covenant is my home. Those are my parents. That I'm their baby. So I wasn't planning on none of that. But if it ever came down to it and I wanted to be home daily, because Covenant does not accommodate for that, and they understand. I thought about them, but it is so hard to get into that company. It's not even funny. And I just know that from working there, and I meet the other drivers and stuff when they come and drop off the fuel for the truck stop, and they tell me all the time when I talk to them, there's a wait list, it's a low turnover, their driver's been 8, 12, 25 years, something like that. Maybe not that high, but a long time. Point is, long time. And they stay, with them, and they have good benefits and all that. So, I mean, they have good benefits even working just in store. So I could imagine they're drivers. But anyway, so I thought about it. I'm, always keeping options open, stuff like that. And also Maverick, I've thought, because there's a Maverick not far from my house as well, and I've seen the Maverick tankers, and I always thought that would be cool. And I've even seen Maverick double tankers, that they have the long one that's connected to the cab. Oh, There it is. I was like, maybe if I go faster, it'll take me out of this area. I swear I'm not speeding. Maybe. So Maverick, I've seen their like longer tankers and then like be connected to the cab, and then like their small tanker connected to that tanker. And I always thought that would be cool to haul like double tankers. That would be awesome. So I thought about it. My options are still open for anything can happen at any point in time. And car hauling is good. And I haven't really considered flatbed, but the heavy duty haulers and stuff, and like the oversized loads, I thought about doing those too. But I don't know. We're just gonna have to wait and see. And when we talk to Herb on live, what he says, because Herb's doing flatbed, and I know it's definitely different than dry van and stuff like that. You want to try DOD? What's DOD? Department of Defense? Ooh, chills. I don't know what DOD is. Oh, okay. Yeah, so Department of Defense. Yeah, our company AAT carriers, because Covenant bought them, they're our most recent purchase. And that's a big contract one, and I mean extensive background, and you can't even have any social medias, tag your locations or anything. Like, they monitor all that stuff. Very high security, high value stuff. So it's a really good account, as long as you qualify to be on it. So Lily and I thought about that too, switching over, but I don't know. I'm gonna see what training. Sorry, I keep trying to pop my ears. I'm gonna see what this training thing turns out to be, and I want to at least have that, under my belt, so that way I can have that kind of like on my resume or whatever, if I do decide to transition, or when I do, or if I ever want to be a school instructor or something like that. I would have that under my belt for me training. And I always like to challenge myself. So yeah, I think it would be good for me, a good move to challenge myself to do something new, different, and see how far I get with it, because there's levels to move up there too. It is we've done some of them, and those are considered high value and high security, and some of them are temperature controlled, some of them aren't, and it's to me, it's just a lot, because with them being high security, they have like a third-party security company that you have to contact. It's like a call center. So you have to call them, tell them all your information, your truck number, your trailer number, your driver ID, the location you're at, and what time it is, where you are, and then you'll be leaving. And then you start rolling, and then let's say that you have to stop and go to the bathroom. You have to call them again. You have to tell them, this is truck number blah blah blah, trailer number blah blah blah. Oh, and they have a code, like a secret code for that load that you have to give in order for them to like even acknowledge the conversation. And then you have to tell them I stopped off at TA off of I-40 exit 293 or 283, Holbrook, Arizona, blah blah blah, and I'm stopping for 15 minutes, bathroom break. And then you go inside, you use the bathroom, whatever. Then you come back, and before you even roll out from that TA, you have to call them again. This is truck number blah blah blah. It is so tedious, so stupid, but I understand why they do it, because it's high security, high value, like that's money. But at the same time, like, do they not realize that prolongs you from even moving, because you have to take the time to make this phone call and like say all this stuff? So I just think it's stupid that we have to do that like every single time. But I mean, it pays well. Those loads pay well because they're usually long haul loads. They don't usually do short runs for stuff like that. Like the ones that we've done is like Pennsylvania to California. That is like money. Yep. So did we. I wasn't teamed with COVID liar just yet, but she had one of those loads, and she told me about it. And so some of our drivers have experienced hauling those loads and having to have like the pilot car, follow them or whatever, and stuff like that. And they have to take your picture, your co-driver's picture, your IDs, and all that stuff just before you can even haul the stupid thing. Like, wow. Oh, and also for like plane parts too, because sometimes we take loads and it's and we go to like different airports and stuff, and it's airplane parts, so we like drop them off at the airports and stuff. It's crazy. But even those, like, we didn't have an escort for that, but for those loads you have to like have your ID out, both you and your co-driver, even though your co-driver's sleeping. But because you're going to be switching drivers periodically, like they have to have both copies, like they have to have copies of both of your driver's licenses, your I think your employee ID, your truck number, all this stuff. Every 2 hours. Yeah, I know. That's what my ex co-driver was saying. She was like, man, they stop a lot, and then they also always need fuel, so like or need gas, so they have to gas up every so often, so it like requires a lot more stopping. So she was like, it seems like it takes forever to get there because they require so much. So I was just laughing. I was like, dang, that sucks. I would hate to stop that many times. I was like, look, that's enough. Like, no more drinking for you guys. How about you drink when we first start out? First bathroom break, you don't get to drink until 2 bathroom breaks after after that. You don't get no more liquids, because I'm not stopping every freaking 2 hours just for you to go to the dang on bathroom. That's craziness. That's insane. Yeah, no, I'm kind of glad I didn't have to do any of those loads. I've done like a lot of high values though, in like Foot Locker, and what was the other one? Levi's, the jean company, and I hauled bicycles. Like, there's so much stuff. There's so much stuff that it's like, if you have like so much of it, it's like it racks up to like millions of dollars. It's crazy. You wouldn't think that it'll rack up that much, but it really does. Like, it really does, like, total up to all that mess. So are you driving right now, or Are you stationary waiting to get loaded or something? Because you said you were at work. Coming up to state line. Which I found out that this isn't even the real state line. This is Prim Valley. Post office load? No, I've never done post office loads. Like mail? Or packages, and then you just drop them off at the post office. I don't think we're contracted with the post office. I've seen those trailers that have, yeah, mail. No, we're not contracted like that. Yeah, I got you. We're not contracted that way. We do. We've done recycled loads before, but not actual mail. Like, I don't think any of our drivers have ever been to the post office. That's crazy. Huh. I wonder. Something for me to ask now. Ask my fleet manager and be like, hey, do we haul mail? Are we contracted for those kind of loads? I don't think so, though. We've done like Target, and that was only like recycled boxes. Is it the boxes in the recycler, and how it like it does the bales of cardboard, like how it's like stacks, and then they put the ribbon things on them, and it's like the stacks of the cardboard, and they put them on pallets. It's like pallets and pallets of like recycled cardboard boxes. And so I've picked up a couple of those loads before from like Target, and then took it down to like LA Recycling Center, like huge cardboard recycling center. Done that. But that was like more local stuff, like in California. That's like what our local drivers would do. Oh my god, my rib is killing me. Oh, this is not fun. It's not fun at all. I'm turning my heater up just a little bit. But yeah, there's so many other things that I would want to do, like just in driving, period, that I told myself when I first started this, and I told my husband the same thing. I said, I'm only going to be out here for like 5-10 years, maybe 7. I said, because I don't want to be out here for 14 years. But there's so much to do and so much to learn in trucking. Like, how do you condense that down in a short amount of time of years? Like, who can do that? And there's drivers that have like said that they've seen and done it all and went into retirement, and I'm like, I mean, it's just so much. I don't know, but I don't plan on. The only way I would stay in this industry for like years and years on end is if I started my own company, which I had that thought, but there's just so much I want to do within this industry that I don't even know where to begin. And so I just kind of dilly-dally and lollygag within Covenant. Like, I'm going to stay in my comfort zone. Like, I haven't even thought about adventuring out or branching out anytime soon, because I'm so afraid of failing, and especially in this time. Like, I'm so terrified of me putting myself out there and then I lose everything, because having the decisions of my entire family on my shoulders. Whatever choice or decision I make, if it does not work out, I destroy all of us. Like, it's not just that I take myself out. Like, no, the whole house is coming with me. So it's so nerve-wracking without that step-by-step mentorship, the guidance of, you know, where to go, what to do, and how to do it, and all this stuff. So it's crazy, but I love it. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, I have a lot at stake, and that's what makes it so terrifying. And it's like, if I don't take the leap, then I stay where I'm at. And even though I'm okay where I'm at, I know I'm not meant to stay here. Like, I know that it's time for me to, like, stretch a little further. But with the way that the industry is, there's so many variables that I just don't even want to move. I don't want to move. Oh my God, I can't do it. I can't do it. You know, but if I had like a good investor friend or something like that, or business partner or something, somebody that has businesses and all this stuff that would even know what to do, then I would take the chance. But I don't know. As of right now, it's a no. For sure. There will definitely be a spot for you at Swazo Trucking Services. Otherwise known as STS. Work shirts and all. Oh, trust me, I've put a lot of thought into it. I have everything laid out, colors of the company and everything, and it's where to begin. That's what it all boils down to. Where to begin is the issue. So once I figure it out and I put on my big girl pants, then I'll be able to make that decision and do it. Colors, yeah. So I've tossed around purple, because purple is like my favorite color. And sorry, I was getting over. Somebody just sent me something. I'll end up talking to that person later. Oh, he's saying something. He must be watching my video that I did for the rumor has it. And when you were asking me about the rumors about coming in with a team, but I was talking about like the roaches and the bed bugs and stuff. So he must be watching that video or watched that video. And he was trying to tell me, he was commenting on Facebook. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, so purple's my favorite color. So I tossed around purple a lot, but I wanted to have two colors. And my husband is part Honduran. And so their colors is like a baby blue. So I was thinking like how I can incorporate like baby blue. I'm trying to find colors that represent like my family, but also colors that are not really typically seen on trucks. You know, you see the black trucks, you see the blue ones, you see white trucks galore, you see red trucks, dark blue. I see some of the Heartland Express that some of their tractors are like a baby blue. So, you know, I tossed around different things, but I believe I settled on the baby blue and the cream color, like kind of like a beige. I think that's what I settled on. Yeah, because it's not something that you typically see on trucks, like that nude color, like that light tan color or whatever. So yeah. And I thought about that too, but those two colors together are so dark that, like, I don't know if you'd be able to see one color off of the other one. But if I were to have the tractors be purple and then the writing be black, no, see, because you're not going to be able to see it because they're dark. So you would have to do, or maybe like a lilac purple. It doesn't have to be like a violet or like a plum, but lilac. Oh my God, I have to get going. Like, why does it seem like it takes me forever to get home? And I got to get to the dang on DMV. This, driving me nuts. I don't want to speed, but it makes me want to speed. I need to go. But yeah, so if I could like figure out something like that, then that would be good. And then like my husband and I are obsessed with like Batman and Catwoman. Like I am so Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman, okay? And my husband, of course, is Bruce Wayne. So I thought about doing that just on my truck only, and having kind of like a mural thing on both sides of my truck. And then of course my truck is going to be like an extended cab that has like its own bathroom and, you know, little kitchen and things like that. I like those. I think they're amazing and beautiful, especially if they're done right. Perfect. So yeah, trust me, I thought all this through and I know that I can make it happen. I just need to figure out how to go about it. And I would do a lot of stuff that a lot of people don't even think about doing. And not saying that I would be more successful than any of the others, because that's just a bit cocky and presumptuous. But you want spinner rims? Okay. We could definitely get that done. Custom made spinner rims. All right. Any specific symbol you want in there? No, it'll be right there in the middle. So when you're going, it's just spinning and spinning and spinning. That would be awesome. I'm sorry. I used to hate them on like the SUVs and stuff, but I think on a rig, I think that would be awesome if you were to have them like on the steers and your drives, and obviously not the trailer, but that would definitely be cool and not seen, but that would be awesome. Yeah, but I thought about all that, but not just the trucking company, like, you know, a chain of truck stops, truck washes, stuff like that. And so, like I said, there's a lot of stuff that I've thought about and planned, and if I could get one of my truck stops made, I know that it would make the news, because it would be that different. Like, it would, like, my truck stop would go viral, because nobody would ever think to put what I'm planning on doing at their truck stops. So it would be the first of its kind. And so I know that it would be like a big thing, like a big deal. And so I try to keep a lot of it to myself, because I know people out there that do have the money and the time and all that other stuff will just steal my stuff, and then I'm still gonna be broke. So I'd rather just nobody make it And that way, like, until I figure it out, then we'll see. But yeah, um, good. It's supposed to. Maybe I'll tell you about it in private messages. um, but yeah, so it'll be different, and truck wash too. So I think it'll be good. But I need to know the right people. I need to get it done. If I'm not mistaken, I think I remember them saying that they're gonna tear Terribles down. It's not. They weren't reopening it. It's excuse me. It's done for. I think I remember them saying that. And what is it? Hard Rock Hotel or whatever, Hard Rock Cafe Hotel. They are going where the Mirage is. The Mirage is no more. They're tearing down the Mirage Hotel. It's gone. Vegas is changing so much. It's crazy. But yeah, they're going to get rid of it. No more Mirage. And it's going to be Hard Rock Cafe Hotel in the shape of a glass guitar. So that's what Vegas is turning into. Showstopper state. Or city, I should say. I've never eaten White Castle. I don't know. It's just something about them burgers that you have to have so many of them in order to even be full, I think it takes 4 of those mini sliders to make one big burger, doesn't it? Like if you picture a big Whopper and then you put one mini burger, like, on top of the bun of the Whopper, it'll be like 4 mini burgers formed into one big burger. I don't know. I might as well just go get a Whopper. like, why get 4 mini burgers? It's going to cost me the same amount when I could just get a Whopper and be filled up and eat 4 burgers in one. I think of the weirdest things sometimes, and I haven't been asleep, so this is kind of my delusional stage kind of coming in right now. So I don't mean to embarrass myself if I haven't already. Oh, goodness gracious. So I have to go to the DMV right now on literally no sleep. Sit there. You can have them with different toppings. Is that what makes White Castle so great why people go there? Because all I've ever seen is that they're little mini slider cheeseburgers. And to me, that's not great. I don't know. I don't want to go to the DMV and waste my whole morning. It's gonna suck. I was gonna do a gospel video, but I can't. I have no space in my phone, and I'm already live. I should have had it set and ready so that I could have done it, but I can't. And I'm about to go on vacation too, so it'll be a minute. I owe you guys like so many friggin' gospel videos. I can't even keep count on when's the last time I did them. Because I was doing them every Monday after I came off the road, and then there was a couple times I couldn't do them. And then I told myself I was going to remember, and at one point I did remember, and then I couldn't remember no more because more time went by that I wasn't doing them. So But I'll have more stuff coming for you guys soon. And I'm trying to think of what else. I think that's it. So I'm going to get going, Daniel. But it's always good talking with you. Me likey, me likey. But this live is going on like 2 hours. And I really need to get to this DMV. So let me close this out. And then once it processes, I'll be able to upload it. And then we can go back and watch what's going on. All right, cool. For sure. I'll go in the comments on this video or comments on another video. Because I don't think you'll be able to type a comment on this video until after it posts. Oh my god, my rib cage is hurting so bad. Okay, that sounds like a plan then. Alright, so I'll be on the lookout for it, and then I'll be able to send you, what I was talking about. And just don't be stealing my ideas, because then I'm going to have to really find you and hurt you really bad for taking my dream from me. But yeah, I love interacting with you and talking with you and stuff. I don't know what happened to my other guy, Jeremy. Jeremy left me. He ditched me. And he was the Swift driver, I think. Yeah. Anyway, I have you. That's all that matters. I don't know that. Well, I do now, but I don't know that. We in the same boat then. Okay. That's funny. All right. So I'm bringing this to a close, and we will definitely talk later. Till next time. Bye.